Hey, what's up everyone, Hicham HAMZAOUI here. Welcome to this new episode of how to create your own video game using Unity3D. In this episode we're going to create a switcher that is going to open a portal for other level. And of course we should manage our portal door by adding animation, scripts, colliders. And finally we're going to create levels for our character to make our game more dynamic. So execute your Unity3D and let's do that. First, go inside the resource folder, select the platform, put it here, and select another platform, put it here. And then go to the object, select this door here, drag and drop it here, and select the switcher and drag and drop it on the first platform. Just zoom on, pressing F, and change the Z position. You can use the 2D button here. Of course, we're going to create a numpty game object, name it press X, which is going to be the text that is going to do a little animation on our switcher. So change the position of our empty object, put it up here, add component, go inside the mesh and select text mesh. Right, press X, change the character size, change its position like this. And the good thing about our scripting is that we're just going to use the platform movement script to move our text without creating another script for our text. So change the speed and max limit and let's see what happens. Here we go. We have a good animation on our switcher that is going to indicate to our character that you should press the X button. Now we're going to create an animation on our switcher. So click on the switcher and add miscellaneous animator and go to the animation folder and create a new animator controller. Here we go. Name it switcher controller like this. Select our switcher and drag and drop it inside our animator. Alright, now go inside the animation view here and select the animator view. Of course we're going to create a new clip, call it switcher off, then go inside our sprite object. Right, now we're going to take our red switch here, go to the animator view, and we're going to create another clip, call it switcher on. Save it and take the green one that is going to indicate that we opened the door. And let's create a new parameter here, a boolean one called switch on. Finally, we're going to make a transition between the two and create a condition plus. Alright. Now let's go and do some scripting to make our animation happen. Create a C# script, call it switcher manager. Inside that switcher manager, we're going to create first an animator attribute. So create animator. Now instantiate inside the start. It will equals the get component animator. Now we're going to create a function that is going to detect our pressing. So create void on trigger, this time trigger stay 2D. It takes collider 2D call. And inside that we call our animator and set our boolean that we just created, which is switch on. Here we go, and make it true. And of course it will be true inside a if statement. Our if statement here is going to be two conditions. The first one is that our collider is the robot. So GameObject.tag equals robot. And the second one is that we press the X key on our keyboard. So input.get key keycode.x. Here we go. And let's close our if statement like this. Alright, we have a little problem here. We're just going to change the lowercase x to a uppercase X. Here we go. Our code is clean now. To make our code effective, we should drag and drop our script inside the switcher, and of course create our box collider that is going to detect our robot. Let's change the scale of our box collider here, like this one, make it a little bit bigger. And of course, to make our script effective, we should check is trigger checkbox. But to see what happens if we don't, let's go straight forward to our switcher here, and you can see that our robot can't enter inside because there's a collider. But if we check our is trigger here, we can go inside even if there's a collider. And of course, if you press X, this is going to switch from the red to the green color. Alright, and don't forget to check is trigger because we did it once the animation was done. Now we want to open our door once we press X on the switcher. So let's do the same for our door. Inside the door, add component miscellaneous animator and do the same, create a new animator controller, call it open door controller. And of course, we're going to drag and drop it inside our door like this. Animator. Open the animation view and the animator view. Create a new clip, call it door closed, and save it. Create another new clip, go inside here, create new clip, call it door opened, save it, and we're going to create a new boolean to switch from the closed one to the opened one, call it open door, or open the door, like whole door. Then make transition, select the transition condition. Alright, that's good. We just have to add the images on our clips. So the first one, which is closed, opened, door opened or closed, sorry, going to select the closed door and open door like this one. Here we go. Now go inside this script. Let's create a new C# script. I'm gonna call it door manager. Here we go. Double click on it. Inside that, we're going, of course, to call the attribute animator, instantiated inside the start function. Get components animator this, and now we're going to create a public function called open the door. This function is going to be called from a external script, which is switcher manager. So inside that, we just have to set our boolean to true. So animator.set bool, open the door, make it true. Alright, save it. Go back to our Unity, select the door, and drag and drop our script inside the door. Of course, we're going back to our switcher manager script. Double click on our script. You can do it from the inspector. Then create a public game object, call it door. This is going to be the door related to our switcher, or call it door to open. And of course, once we press our X, we're going to say door to open, get component, and we're going to select our newly created script. So door manager, and of course call in our public method, which is open the door. So this is going to open our door here. Of course we should add and parent our choose door inside the script. Let's see what happened now. If we go to our door, you can see that it is opened when we pressed X. And here we go. We're inside a open door. We should just correct our background here. Let's move it a little bit to hide the blue background. Let's redo it, and you can see that our door first is closed, and if we go and switch our switcher, the door is opened. Now let's play a little bit with the collider using our door here. Select the door, add a component, and add a box collider. Of course, with this collider, if we go straight to our door, you can see that our robot can't go forward. And what we want to do is, once we switch our switcher here, we should have the ability to go inside, and we can do it thanks to our is trigger checkbox. So inside the door manager, call this.get component and get our box collider 2D, and call is trigger and make it true. This way, once our door is opened, our is trigger is checked. So let's do another test. Here we go, and of course we can go inside our door. Alright, of course don't forget to save all our changes on prefab. So go inside resources, create new prefab called door or switcher. Select our switcher, drag and drop it here, and create a door prefab. So prefab, here we go, call it door, and let's do the same. Of course I forgot to parent our press X here inside the switcher, so it will be dependent on it, and re-drag and drop it inside the switcher. Here we go. Alright, now let's make our door more useful. Go inside the scene folder, create a new scene, call it level 2, then double click on it. Of course we should save our first scene. Now we're going to reuse all our prefabs in this scene. So remove the main camera, go to resources, take our camera here, go to object and take our background, drag and drop it, create some copies, duplicate the background, Control D. Of course we change the position, we're duplicating it, and do the same to the left side. Alright, let's take our daily surface here, duplicate it multiple times. Here we go, and let's take platforms. Going to use many platforms without adding any animation. It's up to you to create your own environment. So let's zoom on our platform to make this more clean to see. Here we go. Add another one, and a final one like this one. Of course we're going to take our robot here, change the offset of our camera depending on our robot. Here we go, you can see on the camera preview. Let's create a empty game object, call it respawner, and give it a selection icon like this. Alright, now select our camera, drag and drop our robot inside the robot game object of the camera, and do the same for our daily surface by selecting the respawner. Here we go. Now if we press play, we're gonna see that everything is playing well and going well thanks to our prefabs. Let's go back to the level 1. Now what we want to do is to make our robot go from a level to another one through this door. And to do that we should do some manipulations inside our Unity. Now go inside File, Build Setting, and add Open Scenes. Do the same for our second scene here, and Build Setting, Open Scene. And of course we should respect the priority, because level 1 is the first one that is going to appear once we play the game. So go inside the door manager. Let's add a new library called using Unity engine called Scene Management. And of course we're going to now let's create a new onTrigger state to the function like we did for our switcher, but this time is to switch our levels. So collider to the call. Of course we're gonna add an if statement to check if this is the robot or not. So if call.gameObject.tag equals robot, and inside that we're going to call our scene management. Right, call scene manager dot load scene. Now write the name of our level, so level 2, and of course load scene dot single. This is a parameter to add to load our scene. And let's test our code. Press play. Let's go to our door. That's sad, it is closed. Now let's open it. Press X, and you can see that once we go inside the door, here we go, we are inside level 2. That's cool. You can notice that our level here is a little bit sad and boring, and we want to go back to our first scene. So select the second scene, and let's reuse our switcher indoors. Here we go. Take the switcher, put it here. Let's change the Z to make it clear, like this one here. And of course just going to modify a little bit the positions of our background and switchers, like this one, to make some places for our other components in the scene. Select the door, put it here, change the seat scale. Alright, nice. Now we're just going to relate our door to the switcher like this. And here we go. If we press X, but we're just going to respawn on the level 2 because our code is just static code. So let's create a new attribute, a string 1, public string, call it level, and this is the level name that is going to decide which level we're going to be teleported to. Go inside the first level and select the door. You can see that we're just going to switch to level 2, and for the level 2 we're going to switch to level 1. Just going to rewrite it well, save it. Our door here, do the same, and go back, and let's test our code now. Press X. Here we go. We go to the level 1, and the same thing happens for level 1. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any question, you can ask me in the comment. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.